Excuse me, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Dan Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Before I start this review, let me just give you a heads up in case you hear any loud bumps or loud pop sounds. Apparently, I have some neighbors outside that are doing fireworks just 5 days before the 4th of July. So, just giving you a special heads up in case you hear any loud bumps or anything. That's the neighbors having their own fun with amateur fireworks. With that being said, let's get started with some fireworks in WWE from earlier today. We had some small things happening. Congratulations, Sami Zayn, on defeating Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross cannot seem to get something going. This is his first match on screen, main TV, God knows how long, but it didn't go well for him. We saw WWE's Cody Rhodes versus the Viper Randy Orton open the show for the King of the Ring match at Night of Champions earlier today. It was a great match in my personal opinion. I really enjoyed the match. We saw for a minute Randy Orton. He was about to go for the punt, but because he considers Cody Rhodes to be a friend, he thought otherwise, but that hesitation went against him. However, he did decide to bring a chair in the ring and undo the turnbuckles, and it worked out against him, and he ended up crashing into it before getting the crossroads. Cody Rhodes is now King of the Ring, and I'm going to tell you what that means a little bit later and why that's so fitting. Speaking of fitting, we had Asuka versus Jade Cargill for the women's Queen of the Ring crown and number one contender shot for the women's championship at SummerSlam. Of course, I honestly thought Asuka was going to win this match. I really did. However, the Empress of Tomorrow fell for the storm known as Jade Cargill. And even though I'm surprised Jade won, I am still happy for Jade. And it's befitting for her since her arch nemesis is Money in the Bank winner Naomi. And what if she decides to cash in on Tiffy time and those two can continue their rivalry? I'm just thinking about that. We saw Jacob Fatu go up against Solo Sikoa for the World U.S. Championship. The U.S. Championship. Jacob Fatu is the champion. And not only is he over with the fans, but he is officially face and the fan favorite as well. However, Solo wasn't having it, and this all started because Solo was overheard saying that Jacob was all gas, no brains, when the proper term is all gas, no brakes with it. You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, I hope that was good. That was my best impression. If it sucks, I apologize. That being said, Solo had some help from a newcomer who was also apparently from New Japan come in, and now we have a Bloodline 2.0 getting stronger and more members there as they help replace Jacob because Jacob on his own now. Unfortunately, Jacob lost tonight, and I was rooting for Jacob to win. And it's so crazy because he is so over with the crowd, but I guess one of the things that makes Jacob so special is who he is outside of the ring. I guess that's why fans have so much respect for him. And keep in mind, fun fact, Jacob Fatu is a family man. He is cool outside of the ring, and he's God-fearing. So, I guess stuff like that earns a lot of respect. Just also that he's real good in the ring. We saw Rhea Ripley versus Raquel in a no-holds-barred women's match. And I have to be honest with you, when I think about Raquel versus Rhea Ripley, I think of Diesel versus The Undertaker. And the only difference is these two have gone on one-on-one several times. The Undertaker and Diesel, a.k.a. Kevin Nash, have only had one camera showcase one-on-one match, and that, to my memory, is WrestleMania 12. I have that on Tombstone, History of The Undertaker. And The Undertaker and Diesel had a pretty good match. Well, my birthday is tomorrow, so what the heck? Just going to do all the fireworks for me. Thank you. Just play. But in any event, now that we have the disruptions out of the way, Rhea and Raquel remind me so much of these two because they're both some of the tallest wrestlers, and they are the tallest women in the roster besides Jade Cargill and Nia. Of course, Raquel being Big Mommy Cool and Rhea being Mommy, endorsed by The Undertaker earlier this year. Speaking of Mommy, that's ironic because Mommy gave a spanking. I'm just playing. Because Rhea took off her little leather belt and whipped not Rhea, Raquel with it. All y'all names start with an R. And also, after a super riptide finishing move off the top of a table set up on the top rope down to the floor for the win, Rhea Ripley wins the match despite interference by an unexpected guest, Roxanne Perez. This move where Rhea went for the slam off the table, it reminded me a lot of what happened when Kurt Angle faced Shane McMahon at King of the Ring 2001 and gave that super angle slam on off the top of a table that was set up on one of the top wrestling ropes. So, with that being said, I believe we covered a couple of things. We covered Randy Orton, Asuka, Sammy. Okay, now with that being said, let's get down to business. Let's talk about the WWE Championship match between John Cena and CM Punk. By the way, yesterday CM Punk put on a great promo emulating John Cena in payback for John Cena stealing Punk's pipe bomb last week. So last night, CM Punk came back, emulated Cena, and then alluded to Kendrick Lamar and Drake, which was fire at the end. Tonight, there were no talking on the mic. It was just simply a wrestling match between two people who, as far as Saudi Arabia was concerned, are fan favorites. So, with that being said, we had a couple of AAs, then one go to sleep. Seth Rollins comes in, Seth right there, ruins everything. Then after, tries to ruin everything rather, we got an OTC chant. I cannot wait till the day he comes back. I don't know what he's doing behind. I heard he's working on a movie, and one of the movies he has finished is Street Fighter. And that's going to be coming out soon. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll watch it just to hear Roman voice over one of the characters. Of course, with that being said, Roman isn't here, but you know who was around? Seth Rollins, Penguin Heyman, and the crew. They attacked John Cena, CM Punk. No, they attacked CM Punk. Then Penta came out. Then Sami Zayn came out to fight off Braun Breaker, whereas the tsunami was interrupted by CM Punk. Then Seth attacks John Cena and Seth Rollins go at it. John Cena has the championship around his waist because of the moment. Then we have those two go at it. And then, just when we thought that CM Punk was going to shake hands and hug, John Cena gives the look, and CM Punk saw the whole thing coming, goes for a GTS, comes back. John Cena kicks out of it. Then Seth Rollins comes and stomps Punk's head in, and we have John Cena winning the match in a heelish fashion again. John Cena is still heel. He's not going to face that quick, guys. Come on. That being said, it's very fitting because what's going to happen is there have been a lot of SummerSlam rematches. There have been a lot of SummerSlam matches. I should do a review on that. That have taken place at WrestleMania. You have Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle, a rematch that took place at SummerSlam. You have, let me see what else. You had That's one of the first I could think of so far. You had Scott Hall and Shawn Michaels have a rematch at SummerSlam 1 year later, of course, just like Brock Lesnar and Undertaker had a match at SummerSlam as a rematch from WrestleMania 1 year later. However, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar have had a SummerSlam WrestleMania rematch several months later. So those things happen. So, that being said, I think we're going to get Punk, Seth, and Roman at SummerSlam Saturday. And I know with this being the result of the game tonight earlier today, that we are going to get Cody versus John Cena Sunday at SummerSlam, because this year, for the first time ever, SummerSlam in New Jersey is going to be 2 nights. 2 nights. But I know who won't. I know Cardi B is going to be in New Jersey outside of New York City, but I know who won't be in New York City. Somebody who was at WrestleMania 29 who will not be at SummerSlam this year. Somebody who I wish the Shield had triple powerbomb through a table, knowing what we know now. But either way, this year SummerSlam is going to be a 2 night event. So I think we're going to get a couple of WrestleMania rematches at SummerSlam. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Cena versus Cody Rhodes Part 2. And we're going to get another triple threat match, I believe, because Roman Reigns is going to have issues with Seth, whereas CM Punk is going to have issues with Seth. So I know this year at SummerSlam is going to be very, very interesting. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts on Night of Champions. I'm your host, Ian Cody. That's all the time I have for you today. And I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. See you guys next time. Have a great weekend.